Hey, what's up guys? So it looks like I'll be reviving my modified version of the Texas method, aka the Massachusetts method, and this time I'm going to be much smarter with how I program things. And oh yeah, don't mind the camera here, I was just using a shitty tripod and it fell. But anyways, I'll go into more detail about the program once I figure it out and solidify the game plan. But this week was just an experimental week. So the core of the Texas method is laid out as such. You have one day where you focus on lighter weights and higher volume, and then another day where you focus on becoming more efficient with moving heavier weights, but the volume is pretty low on that day. And the wonderful thing about this is you get to make and keep adaptations from both ends of the spectrum of training, so both the intensity and the volume end of training. And the problem I had with the Juggernaut method was that when I was so focused on all that really sub-maximal rep work for weeks, I really forgot how to handle heavier weights, and even with the peaking phase added to the end, it just wasn't enough time to really build the confidence that I needed. So both the Texas method as laid out in the 3rd edition of Practical Programming and my own modified version of the Texas method worked extremely well for me in the past. The reason I stopped running it was because I got curious about other programs, I wanted to try them out, and I was also starting to burn out a little bit from basically pushing hard all the time and never ever taking a deload. So now that I got the temptation of trying other programs out of my system, and if I start to be more mindful of fatigue management, I'm confident that the gains will just rain down on me again if I run this program again. So this week I wanted to do 4 sets of 9, and I had just come back from a week-long trip to Ohio where I didn't count any macros, so I'm sure I underate a lot of those days, and I didn't get much sleep, and I had 13-hour-long drives each way, and I basically drank very little water so that I wouldn't have to stop and pee all the time. And the combination of all those things just really wrecked me, and I went into the gym feeling pretty goddamn weak. So the weight felt a little bit heavier than they should have, and I was finding that I was getting fatigued pretty easily. And as you can see, I was working through these sets fairly well despite how I was feeling. The problem started when I hit the safety arms and the bar just completely deloaded onto the safety arms, and I had to basically print press that shit up. So I was completely thrown off by that and totally lost focus on the next rep. So to make up for the lost reps, I just did an extra set with 5 reps. So now moving on to the intensity today, I was going to go in and go for a new 1 rep max, since I couldn't really do that over Thanksgiving break, and you guys will see why when I come out with the vlog. But instead of making sure I got enough sleep and water and food before testing, which would be the smart thing to do, I got very little sleep, and then I went out for the entire day and only had 1 meal. Then I got to the gym at around midnight, knowing I had work early the next day. As you would expect, things got pretty messy and things didn't go as planned. So that was 295, and I was going to work my way up to 310. My mind was telling me to beat my old 1 rep max by at least 5 pounds, but my body was like, hey, fuck you, buddy. So I couldn't even make it past 295, so what I did was lower the weight and just knocked out some singles. So 275 and 280 felt heavier than normal, but I'm glad I can hit these even on a shitty day. I already feel more confident with heavy singles just from doing those 5 singles with 275 last week. So that was 265, and I want to do an extra long pause on that one. This is 245, and I did an extra long pause with that, and it went up super fast. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
G for free. Oh yeah.